Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Wartrain here. If you're new, do me a favor, please subscribe and click that notification bell down below so you guys can get notified of all my new videos. And with that said, guys, today's video I want to talk about the newest Nintendo Switch mini leak. Yeah, this thing is the worst kept secret I think Nintendo's ever had. It goes back at least a year ago. The Wall Street Journal reported on this, saying that Nintendo was at that time currently working on two Nintendo Switch revisions. One, a lesser model to cut the price of the Nintendo Switch, missing or taking away some of the features so they could get the cost down, and possibly another version that was actually maybe a little more powerful with better battery life and maybe more memory and things of that sort, which been deemed the Pro version. Well, go back maybe a couple months ago. Then the Wall Street Journal had another article talking about Nintendo, that this thing was going to be coming out soon, and that they were currently working on this thing, and that it was supposedly in production. I guess they had some insiders from Nintendo giving them information, but they had a couple news articles on this. And then after that report came out, Nintendo, people were speculating and asking Nintendo, are you going to announce something at E3? They came out and said, no, we're not going to release anything hardware related at E3. Well, that was true. E3 came and went, but since then we've had all kinds of leaks, and they didn't say after E3. So now we're after E3, and we've had all kinds of leaks since then. You had a case manufacturer in China come out and basically show pictures of Switch case that they were supposedly working on. So that was the first leak. Then you had the Game of Spain, which is basically a GameStop style retailer in Europe, and they had a couple placeholders with multiple accessories. Not only was it like a case for a Nintendo Switch Mini, but it was also like screen protectors and things. So they've had those multiple things, and then just recently now you have another one, which is a BigBen, a case manufacturer, a pretty big size case manufacturer that a lot of people are familiar with their products. They make cases and accessories for Nintendo Switch, all kinds of different stuff. But this is actually in the package, and this shows a lot more. This is something that you could definitely see coming out, unless this is a really good fake, which at this point it's most likely a real case because why would people go through all this effort at this point? I mean, like I said, this thing is like the worst kept secret I think that Nintendo has. It only makes sense, especially with the 3DS sales waning. It's that time of the Switch's life to come out with the revisions of the current Nintendo Switch. And what better at first to launch a Nintendo Switch Mini, something cheaper, get the price down, which is going to lead to more sales, especially now that you have such a huge game like Mario Maker 2 out. That was their big game they were pushing. It's finally out. The thing is selling awesome, and what better game to have alongside something that's more or less a more dedicated handheld. Because the Nintendo Switch Mini is rumored to be without a dock, without removable Joy-Cons. So, I mean, you could focus more on the touchscreen things of Mario Maker, like the course building, and it would just make a lot of sense. They could personalize these things. They could have bundles with stuff like Mario Maker or Link's Awakening. They could have themed minis because they're cheaper. People would probably be more inclined to buy maybe multiple of these things for like their kids. Maybe they've been holding off on buying a current Nintendo Switch because $300 is quite a bit, but with a smaller price, it's easier for them to want to spend the money and buy possibly multiple of these things, especially if you have multiple kids that all want a Nintendo Switch, because something like this is more personalized. I always think of this as more or less, or even the current Nintendo Switch as like a tablet or a phone, something that you don't really want to share with a bunch of people all the time. Sharing's fine, but not something that you're just like handing over constantly. Maybe the current Nintendo Switch kind of fills that console void in a way, but something a little smaller would become more personalized. That's where, people like to get different colored cases for it, or maybe get different colored switches, Switch minis, or ones that are themed with, artwork and stuff on it. Maybe a Mario Maker 2 themed, or like I said, a Zelda Link's Awakening themed. I'd be on board for one of those right day one. That would be awesome. But I believe this is a way Nintendo could actually make more money selling accessories, because if this thing doesn't come with a dock or Joy-Cons, that you gotta, if you buy a dock, because I believe it'll be dockable. If you buy a dock, now you need controllers. So you got Pro Controller sales, you got Joy-Con sales, because if you want to play something like Mario Party, you have to use Joy-Cons because it doesn't support a Pro Controller. So there's definitely different ways that they can make more money out of selling a Nintendo Switch Mini. Through accessories, different, maybe like cases with different colors or themed ones, as well as just a themed mini. So there's a lot of possibilities here, and like I said, this thing is definitely coming anytime now. I believe now that Mario Maker 2 is out, they could launch this thing any day now, and I believe that they will not launch it beyond September. I can't see that. It's very possible that it could go beyond that, but I mean, with the way this thing's leaking, it seems like it's like really close to being announced. Because this isn't just a one-off leak. We're we're looking at like at least the third substantial leak in a short amount of time after the Wall Street Journal's multiple reports. So I mean, like they say, there's smoke where there's smoke, there's fire, and there's a lot of fire, so much that we're getting burned over here. So I believe this thing could come at any time. I wouldn't be shocked if they just have like a Nintendo Direct, just drop it any day, anytime, or something on Twitter or Facebook. I mean, or all of the above. I mean, who knows? They could have just an emergency press conference. Something like this could happen at any time. Nintendo always denies these things until even 2 days or a day up until they do announce something like this, because they have been denying it, but they recently finally acknowledged it. They didn't deny it. They acknowledged the leak at their 79th annual shareholders meeting in Japan. That they didn't deny it. They just said that they didn't confirm it either, but they didn't want to spoil people's excitement for learning about it, or they didn't want to spoil the things for their shareholders. So that's kind of like saying, yeah, it's coming, without actually saying, yeah, it's coming. Because, I mean, if they would have said something like, yeah, it's coming, but we can't tell you when, I mean, people would stop buying the current Nintendo Switch, waiting to see what the price is going to be for this one and what it actually offers. So I mean, take this stuff as what you will. I mean, I think it's coming anytime now. I wouldn't be shocked even if tomorrow they announce something like this. But what do you guys think? Do you think these leaks are all just, crazy, and everybody's just getting overhyped? Or do you believe, there's a reason these things keep popping up? It seems like week after week now we're getting something something leaked about Switch mini cases, or Switch Pro rumors, or Switch Mini rumors, or another thing about a case, or a Wall Street Journal report. Do you believe this stuff is coming more and more now because this thing's getting closer and it's getting harder to contain this information? That's what I think. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'd really like to hear what people think about the Switch revisions. Like I said, I think they'd make more money off Switch revisions, and it's around that time in the Switch's life cycle to kind of announce one of these things. I wouldn't be totally shocked. Actually, I wouldn't be shocked at all. I'm actually planning on hearing something anytime when something does come up. I'll make a video on it and we'll talk about it. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Leave a like. I'd really appreciate it. But that's the video, guys. I'm the War Train, and I'm out. Have a good one.